Hello everybody, welcome back to Yauk Outdoors. Today we are going to start a series of a workshop and we are going to model a crab using Fusion 360. I will show you the tools and the techniques that I use and some tips along the way. Also, these will be workshop style videos where you can follow along and work in Fusion 360 at the same time. So pause the video if you need to and leave your questions in the comment section if you have any. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And also, because it's a workshop style video, I will try not to speed up the video. I will also make a shorter summary video when we are done with the series, so if you prefer to watch that, you can wait for that video. Just remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Without further ado, let's get started. So here, let's start with the crab body first. And in terms of organic sculpting, form is your best choice. So go to form and select the plan. Select the base plan and then the center of rectangle. Here I want to make it a 60 by 40. Type it in. And then I want it to be maybe lengthwise 5, maybe 6, width 4. That should be good. Symmetry, I want it to be mirror against the length symmetry. And okay, let's set up our base. And now let's start modifying the position of the those points and edges. So I want to move those spots up. So you can see I'm going to just move them on the XZ plane instead of moving up and down, because I want to use the XZ plane as the split plane when I make the mold. And so just move them along. I'm looking at a reference picture, so you might be wondering what I'm doing, but because I have another picture on my second monitor, so I'm looking at that. But basically I'm sculpting, moving the points to match that shape. So this will be the point next to the eye socket. This will be the eye socket, and this will be the top of the face, the front of the between the eyes. Eye socket right here, and maybe get it closer. Move this up. Actually, I should look from top. Now I can see it's a little bit too long in this direction, so I'm gonna make them tighter, because it's symmetrical, so I can move the left side or right side, it doesn't matter. Okay, something like that. You get the idea. Okay, this should be good. Okay, now let's say okay. And this is the body. At least it's the cross section of the body. And next is to create a top and bottom surfaces using this form. So we need to make a copy of this. So let's say we want to modify this one. Say something like this. And then we want to say okay and finish this form. And then, okay, go back here and make a copy of this. So go to copy, right click, copy, and paste. Paste right here, right? So we have two bodies, but as you can see, we only have this form, which means if we want to modify the second one, if we want to modify the second body, and we want to make the lower part of the body something like this, when we say okay, the first one is also modified, right? So because they are based on the same form, so in order to modify them independently, we have to do something different. So let's redo all this. Go back to the step before we make the copy. All right. So in order to modify them independently, we need to make a copy and then paste new. So to do this, we have to operate that in a component level. So first we need to make a component from this body. And so this is a component, and make a copy of that component. So go to copy, and we need to, when we paste, we need to operate that on the top level. So right click, and you can see paste new is another option other than the paste. So click paste new. So now we have two components. There are two different components. As you can see, they're component 1, component 2. And we say okay. And you can modify this one. And you see when you do a copy and paste new, you get this base feature automatically. And you can modify that. For example, I want to so I did the double click on this one. And this edit base feature will come up, and then you can say I want to modify the base feature surface. Go to modify edit face and select this face, and you can see I can modify those. I can drag some faces down, something like that, and then drag them down, something like that. But I have to select more to make the final shape I want. So this is a little bit more work, and I think this method will be suitable for like local adjustment, not the global change of shape. So undo this, Ctrl Z. And what we want to do is modify the first original form body, modify in this level, say modify, and then we can click, because we still have all the control for this surface. Modify that, and maybe make this point a little lower, something like that. You get the point. I'm not going to fine tune this because I'm going to introduce you my way to do it, the correct way. I mean my preferred way to do it. Say okay, right? So now we have two independent form, top and bottom, and then we can further do some operation on those. So there are two different shapes, as you can see. So modify one doesn't change the other shape. But I think there's another cleaner way to do it. Let me show you. So undo all this again. So I'm still in this form editing mode before copying. And what we want to do is we don't want to finish form right here. We just want to make a copy at this level. Say right click, copy, and then we just paste in the same location, paste, right? So we have two forms under this body, and then now we can modify. Say okay right here, hide the body one. So this is body two because they have the same shape right now. And now we can modify, say move those faces, drag them down like that. Maybe just the center point. No, I want to do this for all of them. Something like that. A little bit more adjustments. So this is the bottom surface. Okay, and then let's unhide the top one. Actually, top one looks a little bit awkward, so let's fix that. Okay, that's pretty much the shape we want, right? Okay, so say finish form, and you can see by doing copy and paste the form in this level will give you two independent surfaces that you can sculpt. And now we have two surfaces, and we want to make a body out of this because they are perfectly lined up at the boundary. So we can stitch them. So go to surface, stitch, and select both body or both surfaces and say okay. And now this becomes a solid object. All right, so that's how we create the base shape of a crab. Next, let's make some details on the edge of the crab body. Here I want to make an outline of this body so I can do the sketch based on that outline. So go to solid workspace, sketch, create sketch, select the plane, and I want to project from this body, say okay. Now I have the project of the outline right here. So let's hide the body for now and start sketch. So I want to basically create spikes shape around the edge and also this part, and the eyes will be here. So select fit point spline and start drawing those splines. So basically make sure you touch the edge, exit out and do it again. I think I need 8 of them, so I have 4. Maybe I need space them out a little bit more. So let's move those points around. I want it to be closer. Four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A few more. One more. Okay. Space them out a little bit more. I mean, we are creating an organic form, so it doesn't have to be like mathematically perfect. As long as they don't look too weird, that'll be fine. Okay, so that's the shape of the spikes. And now let's create more. I want it to come out more. Right here. Say okay. So I don't want to touch the line here. And in a minute you will see why. I think I want to end it in the middle, and because I want to keep it smooth transition, so when I do the mirror, so I need to keep this contour line flat. Okay, let's adjust those edges, lines a little bit. Something like that. This will be where the eye socket is. Like that. Okay. And now we have this line, and let's make a mirror image of this. So go to create mirror, and let's select those little splines sections. So the middle origin, so we can see this line, and you can see the mirror lines are created. Say okay, finish sketch. All right, so now I want to trim those extra pieces out. I'm going to use the extrude. So select body, extrude, profile. Instead of selecting those smaller pieces, I will select this one and do an intersect of the body, and symmetrical, distance all, so everything. Say okay. Okay, so now this is our body, and you can see why I leave the space between the those splines and the edge, because I want to create this spacing, and on the edge I don't need those spacing, so they are connecting to the edge. And now this looks pretty good, but I think I need to smooth those edges, and I will do that with the fillet. This might be too much, so the good thing about this is we can add it at any time, and this is too far out from the edge, so especially this one, so I'm going to bring this in. see how that looks. Okay, it's not too far down now, so maybe I need to bring it in a little bit more. Anyway, we can add it later if we need to. So that's the shape we have now. Let's see if we can smooth the edge out a little bit more. So let's add the fillet. Select the edge. I think those should be safe to add. Say 1. How does that look? I don't want variable, constant. Let's select all of them. Leave that alone for now because that's touching the top and bottom, and fillet might not work for that small area. And say 1 for all of them. So it's smoother now. Looks okay. And let's see if we can add more on this edge. Plus 1. Okay, see, there's a problem now. We can try to set the radius type to variable. For example, if we want to add this, and basically we don't want any fillet at the edge at this point because there's no space to create the fillet. So say variable, and this end I don't want anything, so keep it 0. And the start, actually that's the start point. In end point I want to use radius 1. So that'll be okay because there's basically no radius at this point at the sharp end. And let's create another one. See if we can do the same thing there. Variable and end, keep it 0. Start, use 1. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's how you create the variable fillet to suit this situation. And let's continue to finish all the rest. Maybe I will fast forward at this point, but that's basically the steps that I'm taking. Right, here's an update. I tried, and unfortunately I couldn't create what I wanted. At least I put in the fillets for the top edges. I couldn't make it at the bottom because that will cause some issue. But anyway, I think this is good enough. And for the size, this is gonna be like less than 2 inches or around 2 inches. And in reality, we probably won't be able to 3D print this part that precisely. So I think this should be okay. So anyway, I'm gonna call it for this workshop. Hope you learned something, and if you run into any problems, let me know. Leave your comments. I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Or you find some new approach that you would like to share, please leave them in the comment section as well. And I will see you in the next one. Happy modeling!